Welcome to the show.
Right in the
Coffee
morning,
with Nikkie.
Right
In this morning show, we are here to inspire you about building your own business and helping you stay on track of your goals. It's a daily cup of motivation. A supportive group of women who wants to see you succeed in your business, and we'll support you every step of the way.
Right in the morning.
Just put your mind to it. Coffee with Nikkie. Coffee with
Wake
Nikkie.
up everybody in the morning. Wake up everybody. It's coffee with Nikkie, and we have to get our drink on. So educate your mind, right? Educate your mind, right? Educate your mind, right? Hey, we riding, yo. Wake up in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm yawning, brainstorming when my mind is forming. Time to tune to this morning show early in the morning. Listen to Coffee with Nikkie. Oh yes, she's busy. If you need help, tune on the channel right with me. Strong, independent women, make it sound easy. Wake up everybody in the morning. Wake up everybody. It's coffee with Nikkie, and we have to get our drink on. So educate your mind, right? Educate your mind, right? Educate your mind, right? Hey, we riding, yo.
Alive and welcome to Coffee with Nikkie, your daily cup of information and inspiration. You already know what to do. Soon as you walk in, hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to click subscribe. Now grab your pen, your pad, and your coffee because it's time to get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Good morning. Do you have an echo? Let me know how I sound. Let me know if it's good. Let me know if we're good, y'all. Y'all can hear me. Y'all can see me. Y'all heard the intro. Everything went fine. Let me know. Put some ones in the chat. Let me know if you heard everything. And if you are new and you have not yet heard the new Coffee with Nikkie song, let me know how you feel about it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let me see how everybody, let me check and see what everyone is doing in the chat. Oh, we full this morning. Good morning, Miss Lois. First of all, Miss Lois, let me give you your props and your flowers, honey. Your setup was so beautiful. So yes, and yes to your setup. I loved it. Good morning. She said, I am blessed this morning. Good morning, Miss Deltra. Miss Deltra is another one who killed it this weekend at the pop-up. So congratulations on your stuff too. Congratulations. She says she loves pop-ups more than she loves selling online. Selling online is a whole lot more work than doing that at pop-up. But you can still get the both incomes. But yes, it's, you get that right away. You get that instant gratification. You don't have to wait and pack orders and everything. You just do everything right there. So I totally get it. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, Jasmine. Good morning. How are you doing this amazing morning? Good morning, Cheryl. Cheryl says she is blessed. Good morning, Laura. Good morning. She said, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Naomi. She is awake, alive, and blessed. Yes, and yes. Good morning, Trina. Welcome back, girl. Hope everyone's been well. Yes, and yes. Oh, this one. Gotta bring her on up. Okay, there we go. Good morning, Sade. Is just Sade and Satia in the room, or both y'all, one of y'all? Good morning, the Edible Gems. Good morning. Feeling blessed. Yes, and yes. Good morning, Linda. Linda said, good morning, everyone. She is blessed. Good morning, cousin. Cousin's back in the office today. Good morning, Miss Betty Rose. She said, I am truly blessed and grateful. Come on, truly blessed and grateful. Yes. All right, good morning, Angie. Good morning. She says she is blessed. Good morning, sis. Good morning, Chantel. You're good. Okay, so I went through the whole thing, no problems, no issues, right? Yes, we're going to start this week off right. We starting this week off right. The intro, I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're good. Thank you. You are doing it, girl. Thank you. Let me see. Good morning, Yolanda. Good morning. She says she is very blessed. Hey, yes, and yes. The intro song is a whole vibe. Yes, thank you. You good this morning. Hey, last week we were struggling through it, but we pushed on through. Today we got it together. I'm blessed and highly favored. Come on, Tiffany. I caught it. Good morning, Big Meech. Good morning, Jordan. Good morning. Okay, both the girls are in the room. Come on, Sade and Satia. Let's get it. Let's go. Perfection. Yes. Thank you. And I want to say thank you for my amazing intro from Miss Jasmine Alyssa. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for this for that amazing intro. I'm so happy with it. What is this? A string. Okay. I don't know where it's at now. Now I'm messing with it. All right. We just gonna tuck her inside because she's being rude and disrespectful. Rude and disrespectful. So how was everybody's weekend? I hope you all had an amazing weekend. I know how some of you guys' weekends went because I seen you had some pop-up shops, some events, and also I know Miss Lois went live to do a giveaway this weekend. So what was your weekend looking like? This weekend for me, we had my nephew neighbor's son's birthday party across the street. If you saw my stories, you saw the thunder and rain and how I was sitting on my porch waiting until the rain cleared up so I could go over there. And also yesterday was just a relaxing, cool out day. But I want to tell y'all something. You know, we had all that rain. And so, you know, that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about today. Today, I'm going to be talking about the rain, the storms, and how it works in our lives and how we can. Because I was looking at my green beans that I put out. I don't remember what day exactly I put my green beans out, but when I put my green beans out, they were kind of already sprouted. And so they just started growing immediately. So Friday, they were peeking out of the dirt. We had the rain, and then after the rain, they emerged out of the dirt. They had leaves on them and everything. Today, they're really out there perky and standing up. And so I wanted to talk about that. I was like, you know what? This is a good thing that I think we should talk about. We should talk about the rain. We should talk about the rain in our lives. We should talk about the storms that come in our lives. Because when we look at the storms, we're looking at the storms as if they're so devastating that we can't come back from them. But rain is cleansing. Rain is clearing. Rain is helpful to help you grow, right? If my plants didn't have that rain, the water would have done it, but it got that deep watering that it need. It got the nutrients and everything that it need. Everything that I had in the dirt all commingled together to help that plant grow and thrive. And that is the same thing with us. So everybody, if you feel what I'm saying, put some ones in the chat. Ones in the chat. Ones in the chat. He says, good morning. That's right. I put my niece on to you. Okay, come on, niece. You got her pumped up. That's right, niece. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's go. It was good. Okay. It was raining. Yes. And so for most of us, we've had rain at, you know, when I was speaking to you guys on Friday, most of you guys said that you guys had rain. And so the rain for me was a blessing for my garden, right? It was some, I see everything thriving in my garden. Sometime with the rain, there's some things that come with the rain, right? That aren't so great. So I have slugs that comes with the rain, right? And with the slugs, they're eating up the leaves, they're destroying my vegetables. And so you have to do things to keep the slugs out. So I have to put some things out there so I could, you know, deter the slugs from coming into the garden, because it's going to take things back and, you know, kill the rest of them or whatever. However it works, right? I have to throw out these pellets into the garden when it rains or after it rains so that the slugs do not destroy my crops. And that's the same thing that we have to do too with our lives. We are going to have to put out the pellets so that the storms of life and the slugs of life do not take us out. They do not devour us. Yes? Yes, yes, and yes. Let me know what y'all thinking in the chat so far. Do y'all see where I'm going with the rain and the storms in life? In my garden, because we are back in the garden today. My husband's goddaughter graduated. Oh, yes, she was in New York, Michi. Yes. My husband's goddaughter graduated on Friday. We were in New York from Friday until yesterday. Saturday was a huge graduation party. Sunday visited my mommy. Hey, I haven't seen her in person in a long time. That's awesome. That is awesome. I love when family gets together. Good morning, sis. Good morning, Jules. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So today we're in the garden, right? We're talking about the storms and the rain. And I have it all here in my notes, ready to go. And let me know if y'all ready for today. Y'all ready for the garden? Y'all ready for the garden metaphors and analogies? Y'all ready? Put some ones in the chat if you ready. Come on, y'all. Yes, yes, and yes. Yes, 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 and yes. I love it. I love it. So before I even start, right, I told you about my green beans and how everything is growing. And so I did notice that when I went into the garden after it rained on Saturday, I went into the garden and I didn't find many. The year before last, I had so many slugs because I had put my garden on the wrong side of the house. Well, not the wrong side, it just didn't work there, right? I could have figured out how to make it work, but I just moved it to the front, right? And so last year we had slugs, but not as many. And I'm assuming because it wasn't by the trees and, just it was really sluggy last year. This year I didn't find too many slugs, but I seen that the leaves were being eaten. And then I went to my lettuce and then I found one in the in the folds of the lettuce. And I was like, oh my gosh, so we had slugs. Because I'm assuming, I was like, oh, good, we don't have slugs. So I didn't prepare the dirt, right? I didn't prepare the garden with the pellets because I was like, the last time it rained on Friday, we didn't have any, we didn't have any slugs. And so since we didn't have any slugs, I was like, maybe I don't have slugs. But I found one, but it was deep. It was hidden. It wasn't for me to see. Usually I could see them in the dirt. Usually I could see them on the stem and I couldn't see it. This one was hidden in the folds of the lettuce, right? Well, in the tucks of the lettuce. And so I had picked it out and, took it out or whatever. And so now I'm fully going out there examining everything. But I just want you to know that there was no more, no more slugs out there. But we're going to talk about the rain. And even though the rain did bring the slugs, and sometimes, we look at the rain and the storms in our lives as things that we just want to hurry up and get through and get over. Sometimes we need to dance in the rain. Sometimes we just need to let the rain just fall on us. Sometimes we just need to just embrace that the storm is coming and see what the lessons are and see what the things that are going to come with the, after the rain, see what's going to come. Because sometimes, we've had devastating storms. We've had devastating hurricanes and things like that. We've had those things. And what happens when all of that happens is it's taking everything with it. And everything is clearing and is cleaning it. And after that, you have to rebuild. And sometimes we have storms in our lives like that. We have storms in our lives that are so devastating, situations that are so devastating that it kind of like clears everything that we have even thought we stood for, right? It shakes our very existence, right? And so we don't know which way is up sometimes when these storms come. But it's one thing is for sure is that when everything is cleared and gone, you are able to rebuild. Is it going to be tough? It absolutely is going to be tough, but you are always able to rebuild. You are always able to rebuild yourself. You're always able to come through this storm and be stronger than ever, right? So everybody, if you with me so far, put ones in the chat. Slugs come from rich soil. Okay, my soil is rich, girl, because them slugs was popping. And I have a mushroom compost in my soil. And so my friend said, excuse me, that the mushroom compost is she's like, it's like magic, because she had put her stuff into the garden before me. And so she was like, it's like magic. So I went over there to see her stuff and I was like, ooh, oh, your stuff is growing. And she was like, yeah, it's the compost and the soil. So I'm with you on that, Miss Linda. I am definitely with you on that. So if y'all with me with these storms, let me know. Put some ones in the chat. Put some ones in the chat if you with me about the storms, right? And so I have my notes. I'm going to refer to them quite often, but I just want y'all to know we about to get into it. We're getting into it. Rain and storms are beneficial for our gardens, but they also offer valuable lessons to our lives, right? So when is the last time that there has been some rain, a storm, a situation that happened to you that you thought was going to take you out, or something that was just going to it rocked your existence and you grew from that? How many of you guys experienced that? Put me in the chat. Put me in the chat. And I know I'm not the only person who've been through things. I'm not the only person who's still going to be going through things. We're all, this is what life is. Life is going to, like Sade say, and Sade and Satia, life is going to life, right? Life is going to happen anyway, no matter what we do. But it's how we handle the situations. It's how we get through it. It's how we overcome these things. Is going to, prove how well we overcame that thing. Yes? Yes, yes, and yes. Let me see it in the chat. Let me see it in the chat. Let me see it in the chat. And I wrote in my notes, I said, rain has a unique way of awakening our senses. Like we could be going smooth sailing, everything could be totally fine. But then that rain comes, that situation comes, that betrayal comes, that anything comes, that obstacle comes, and boom, you like thrown off, right? You're thrown off, but it's awakening you to something that you weren't paying attention to, or it's awakening you to something that's going on, right? And you have to start to face those things, because after you come out on the other side of those things, you are going to be stronger, right? Sometimes the rain, when we have rain, sometimes it's just a little rain shower, sometimes it's just a little sun shower, it's just tapping the leaves, it's just tapping the plants, right? It's not doing much, it's just gently kissing them, gently touching them, gently caressing them, but the plant still gets love from that, and it still grows and thrives, right? But sometimes we have those heavy storms like we had this weekend. If you follow my stories, you see that I said that we had these thunderstorms. Why am I getting tongue tied? Thunderstorms. And I even showed you guys how the rain was coming down, right? And so the rain was pouring down, right? Downpour. And in my garden, even though it was moving and disheveling my vegetables, it still did not harm them, right? Yes, they may have come through with some, I wouldn't say cuts and bruises, because in life, that's how we'll come through the storm, right? With some cuts and bruises. But I had some torn leaves. I had some things that flopped over. But the thing is that the rain did not kill it. Right. And I want somebody to understand and resonate with me right now. Somebody is going through a storm right now. Somebody is having a rainstorm, a thunderstorm right now in their life, and they're thinking that I don't even know how I'm about to get through this. I don't know what's going to happen, right? But I'm here to say that you may come out with some cuts and bruises. You may come out, falling over. You may come out with some tears in the lettuce, or some tears in the vegetables, but you're still going to be able to grow and to thrive, because when that sun comes out, because when the sun came out for my garden and my vegetables that are in my garden, everything, no matter how hard that rain hit it, everything in my garden perked up. Every single thing in my garden perked up. Everything was moving, right? The rain didn't stop it. Yes, the rain was it was a little rough, right? It was a little rough, and some of it had gotten dirt on the leaves and things like that. But as soon as that sun came out, everything perked up. And that's the same thing. It's the same way we could look at life, right? Because as soon as we get some clarity, as soon as some sun comes out, we are going to be able to grow and be even stronger than we were, right? Because now when the storms come, you know that they're going to come, but now you just brace yourself, right? When they tell us that a big storm is coming, big hurricane is coming, and we're not from a hurricane area, but when they do have these warnings, they tell you there's some things that they tell you to prepare for, right? You're prepared for the storm, because previously perhaps you weren't prepared for the storm, and something may have happened, something devastating may have happened. You may have lost your home may have gotten flooded, things may have happened in your home because you didn't prepare yourself, right? And so since you didn't prepare yourself for the last storm, when the next storm comes, you're definitely going to make sure that you prepare yourself. And so we hear from the news stations, the emergency broadcast, all of that, they'll tell you to tape up your windows, sandbags, um, make sure that you got your important papers in plastic or whatever they tell you, right? And they prepare you for the storm. You're preparing yourself for the storm. You're preparing your home for the storm. And you have to do the same thing with yourself. You have to prepare yourself for the storms, because the storms of life are going to happen. There is nothing that we can do to prevent it. They are going to come. But the thing that we can do is brace for impact. The things that we can do is make sure that we are properly prepared. We equipped ourselves with the things that we need, the things that are necessary to make us, to help us get through it, right? Because it doesn't make sense for us to try to hurry up and get over it, because the rain is going to happen. The storm is going to come. We can't hurry up and get over it. It is a process. We got to wait until the process is over, right? And so that's the same way we are with life, right? We can't just get over these things. Sometimes we have to go through the storm, right? And a lot of the times when we come outside, and I just want y'all to just think about this, right? Imagine going outside and you see the rain is coming down, right? It may not be too much. It may just be a little bit. right? But the rain is coming down. Once you get outside, the rain starts pouring down on you, right? And let's say you walk into your car, right? And after you already start getting wet, it's no need for you to run to your car so you can stop getting wet because you're already wet, right? How much more wetter are you going to get? If you're already soaked and drenched, it doesn't even make sense for you to go and run to the car because you already wet and you already soaked, right? So then you just kind of like embrace it and say, you know what? I'm just going to walk to the car. I'm not going to risk falling. I'm not going to trip. I'm not going to do all of that trying to rush to get in my car. Matter of fact, I'm just going to walk and I'm just going to enjoy the rain. How many of you guys have ever done that? I know I have. How many of you guys have ever done that? And it's not just walking to the car, just period in the rain. In the rain. We have to learn how to start to dance in the rain, right? Because it's going to happen. It's going to come. And so since that's happening, we might as well go on ahead and embrace it, right? I'm not saying that, bad times are going to come and stay. So just stay in those bad situations. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. But I'm saying what you got to do to get through it is you got to brace yourself for impact and make sure that you're preparing yourself so that once the storm is over, when the sun comes out, you are able to emerge from the dirt growing, thriving, and stronger than ever before. Yes? Yes, yes, and yes. Let me know if y'all with me. Let me know if y'all with me. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Like the sun showers, the light rain don't cause too much damage, right? It's those big storms that happen, right? We have some situations that don't take us out. We have some situations that may be annoying. It may be some people that, have to move in our lives, or some people that are irritating our lives, or irritating, not working well with us, or just not for us, or there's situations that are just not working right? Maybe you have a situation that's at work, maybe a little bit of rain, right? It's not a thunderstorm yet, but we have to be able to know that we can make it through. If we can make it through those light rains, we could definitely make it through these thunderstorms. Yes? Yes, yes, and yes. Definitely. I become stagnant. Okay? Okay? Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. I'm caught up. Yep. 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 And so it doesn't make sense for you to rush through it. Sometimes we have to trust the process. Not sometimes, all the time we have to trust the process. If we know that we are, going to try to accomplish something, we know that everything is not going to be smooth sailings. We know that we are going to be faced with challenges. We know that things may come up, that we unexpected things that we've never expected to come up may end up coming up, and so we're going to have to deal with it. And so when we have to do that, we have to prepare, right? And while we are preparing, we are learning. And while we are learning, we are growing. And while we're growing, we are figuring out what to do when the sun comes out, because the sun is going to come out. Yes? Yes, yes, and yes. Y'all with me? Let me know if y'all with me. Let me know if y'all with me. Because one thing that's going to happen is for everybody, is that into everybody's life, there's going to be a little bit of rain, right? In everybody's life, there's going to be some rain. And it may not happen all the time. It may happen once in a while. And even when that does happen, you have to know that you are built and equipped for this, and you can make it through anything, right? Especially if you are faith-based, especially if you believe in a higher power, especially if you know that God's pulled you through something before, he could do it again. If he did it before, he could do it again. I love that song by Ty Tribbett. That's his name, right? Ty Tribbett. If he did it before, he'll do it again. That song? Yes. And you have to realize that, because God has gotten you through plenty of things. Your faith has gotten you through plenty of things, right? And if it happened before, it can happen again. Yes, yes, and yes. Let me know if y'all with me. Let me know if y'all with me. Let me know if y'all with me. So I want to also state that, the rain gives us that nourishment that we need, right? Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, good morning, good morning. The rain gives us the nourishment that we need. It quenches our thirst, right? We may not even know that we've been thirsty for something. We didn't even know that we needed water to heal something. We may have not even known that our body needed an X amount of water, right? We may have not have known that. But when that rain comes, we're like, oh, I didn't know how much I needed this, but I needed this, right? How many of y'all have been through storms, and you're like, once you get through it, you like, oh my gosh, when I was going through it, I really wanted that thing to be over. But now I'm on the other side of it. I can appreciate the storm. How many of you guys can appreciate the storm? Put it in the chat. If you can appreciate the storms, put it in the chat. There have been plenty of times when I overlooked things or the storms of life came to me and I just thought like it was just about to take me out. I couldn't believe this happened. I couldn't believe this person did this thing. I couldn't believe that, it's so many things, right? I don't know what I'm doing in this situation. How am I going to get through it? But knowing that I was able to pull myself through it instead of trying to rush to get over it, right? I had to grow through that thing. I had to grow through that situation, through that storm, and I came out on top. Right? I came out knowing more knowledgeable. I came out knowing that I am stronger than I thought I was. I can do things that I didn't think I was capable of doing. I can tolerate more than I should have. I could have. You know what I'm saying? I tolerated that for so long and now I'm over it and now I got to get through it. Now I need to do what I need to do for me. Because if I don't do what I need to do for me, this storm is going to take me out. This storm is going to devastate me. And I need to see whatever I need to do that is going to help me grow through this. If I have to read a book, if I have to go talk to somebody, no matter what that thing is, I know that I can come out on top. Right? Because certain things that were meant to destroy me did not. And if they were meant to destroy me and they did not destroy me, then who knows what else I can do? Right? The possibilities are endless. I can do anything that I put my mind to, right? Because I had to work through this. I had to put the work into getting myself through this. There's been times that we've been in certain situations, and I'm speaking for all of us as a collective. We've been in situations where we didn't know what we were going to do. There was nobody there to help us. We didn't have an umbrella. We didn't have a rain jacket. We didn't have rain boots, and we had to get through it just the way we were. Just the way we were. We didn't have all the things to prepare us yet, but we had to make sure that we got through it, right? Because we got people depending on us. So we had to make sure I don't have a rain jacket. I don't have an umbrella. I don't have rain boots, but I need to get through this storm. So I'm going to walk through this storm just the way that I am because I know on the other side is going to be, I'm going to be winning as soon as I make it to the other side. So then the next storm comes. Oh, okay, I could grab my umbrella. I could grab a rain jacket and I could grab my boots. Or I could look at it like these storms are not coming to destroy me. I'm going to dance in the rain and I'm going to enjoy the rain and I'm just going to enjoy my life because I know what this is building me up for. I know that I'm going through this because something else is about to happen. I'm getting ready for the next level me. I'm getting ready to see what God has in store for me. I'm getting ready to see what I am capable of. I thought I was weak before, but I know that I'm strong now because I went through this storm. I went through this storm by myself. I went through this storm with God's help. I went through this storm kicking and screaming. I went through this storm falling over like my plants outside. Some of the ones that have to be vined up, they had to be caged because they fell over. So I came through this storm. I fell over, but I'm lifted. I got some support. Somebody came in and they supported me. Somebody put a cage up to help me up. Somebody seen that I was worth it. Somebody seen that my life was valuable enough to save. Somebody saw that I had something in me, some kind of light, some kind of spark. And then when the sun came out, here I am, ready to go, ready to shine, ready to thrive, and I emerged from the darkness. Yes? Yes, yes, and yes. Let me know if y'all with me. Let me know if I'm resonating with anybody in this room today. Let me know in the chat. Let me know if I'm resonating with anybody in the chat. Let me know. Put it in the chat. 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 Hey, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Hey. And I wrote down in my notes that said we face trials, setbacks, and uncertainties. But just as the rain helped the plants to grow, the rain also helped us to grow. We are able to rinse off those things. Sometimes we come with trauma. Sometimes we come with baggage. Sometimes we come with things that happened to us in our past that we're not proud of, we are ashamed of, and that rain can rinse that right on off of you. That blessing of the rain can rinse that right on off of you and clear you off. Clear that dirt that kicked up on you. Clear that right off. Right? And so we need to start looking at it like that. The rain is cleansing. The rain is here to clear to clear and cleanse me. The rain is here to give me what I need so that I can grow and I can thrive. The rain is here so all of the components and all of the things that were in my dirt, that was in my compost, all of that stuff, now I can have the rain come hit it, and the rain hits it, and now everything is working together, and all of those nutrients are feeding my roots, and all of that is feeding my leaves and feeding my fruit. And now when the sun comes out, I can emerge. I can come out. I can do what I need to do. I can stand perky. I can stand strong because I've been through all of that. Yes? Yes, yes, and yes. Let me know if I'm resonating. Let me know if I'm resonating. Yes, God will put you through it. To make you stronger. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me know if I'm resonating with you. Let me know if I'm resonating with you. And I wrote a quote here from Maya Angelou. She said, "We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. We must not. We must not allow the storms, because storms are meant to pass. Storms are not meant to stay. We're not going to have a storm that is going to last years. We're not going to have a storm that's going to last months. We're not going to have a storm that's going to last weeks. We are going to have a storm, and the storm is going to come, and the storm is going to go. It is meant to pass. It is not meant to stay. And if we look at the storms of our life and the seasons of the way the storms come in and what particular seasons they happen, because we don't have snowstorms in June. You know what I'm saying? I had to pick a furthest month as I can, because we've had snow in April, May. So I had to go further. But we're not going to have a blizzard in June, right? We're not going to have those kind of storms then. But storms are not meant to stay. They are meant to pass. They have their seasons and they have their time. Their time to come and their time to go. They're not meant to stay. And we need to look at the storms of our lives the same way, right? Even though we stuck in it, we're in the eye of it, we can't see our way through it and pass it, but they're not meant to stay. They are only meant to pass, right? They're only meant to pass through. They may leave destruction with it. They may leave a mess behind it, but they're only here to come and go. They're not here to stay. Yes? Yes, yes, and yes. Let me know if you're with me. Let me know if you're with me. The storms are not meant to stay. Put that in the chat. Storms are not meant to stay. Put that in the chat, please. Storms are not meant to stay. They are meant to pass. They are meant to pass. Excuse me. Put that there. Sorry. Put that in the chat. The storms are not meant to stay. They're not meant to stay. And just like when the rain, with the rain for my plants, it comes renewal. It comes growth, right? Because I was able to see clearly. I clearly seen my green bean grow, the little seed emerging until it has leaves on it. And I showed you guys, if you were watching my stories, I showed you that in my stories as well, because the leaves on the green beans started growing, and it took them no time. It took them no time. It was for the weekend, and now it is up and it's thriving. It's up and it's thriving. And everything else that was in the garden that looked like it may have been stagnant or wasn't growing as fast, soon as that rain came, as soon as the storm came, they started moving. They started moving. I don't know what stimulated it, but I mean, I know the rain did, but I'm just saying, in the ground, everything stimulated and it forced everything to grow. It forced everything to grow. And you guys got to understand that the rain is going to force you to grow. These storms are going to force you to grow. They're going to force you to look inside yourself, to find something deep within that you never even thought that you had. It's going to ask you to step outside your comfort zone. It's going to ask you to see what you got, see what you made of. This is what you want. Let's see if you really made of it. Let's see if you got what it takes. Let's see if you could dig down deeper and figure it out. Let's see if you could do what you need to do in order for you to get this thing that you say that you want, right? These storms are going to test you. They're going to see if that's what you really want, right? If that's what you really want, if you really could make it through this thing, right? And it's not even if we really could make it through this thing, because no matter what that storm is, we find a way. Yes? We find a way to make it through a storm, right? We find a way. I remember when I was younger, my aunt and I used to stay at their house when we had thunderstorms. And I don't know if any of you guys have experienced this, but they make you go to a room with no windows. And I was like, my mother never made me do my mother never made me do this. But they were from the South. So, I guess the Southern thing came to the North. And so we would have to go into a hallway where there was no windows when there was a thunderstorm. Did anybody have to do that in their lives? My mom never did it, and I guess because we didn't have such violent storms like they did down south. But my aunt would always make us go into the hallway, right? Because she wanted us to prepare. She wanted to prevent anything from happening to us, and this is the way she knew how to prevent it from happening, right? And so you have to do the same thing with yourself. If you need to prepare yourself, prepare yourself. If you need to go into that hallway for a second because you need to say a prayer, because you need to talk to God, because you need to cry to God, you need to ask God, you need to talk to yourself, you need to give yourself a pep talk, no matter what that thing is, you have to do what you need to do in order to take care of you. You have to do what you need to do to get you through this storm and to grow through this storm, because again, it is not meant to stay. It is meant to pass. There's a lot of things that happen in our lives, and most of these things that happen in our lives are passing through. Passing through. We just have to be able to be strong enough to withstand the storm. That's it, because the sun is definitely going to come out. It's not going to rain forever. Uh, I'm like, my phone is somewhere. It is not going to rain forever. So we have to make sure that we do whatever is required and whatever is necessary for us to get through it. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. So I want you guys to think about it. And what's a storm that you had to grow through? What's a storm that you had to grow through? Put it in the chat. And you don't have to give me details. It could just be something, like something challenging, like, something that came up, like getting my son through college, or I lost my job. And you don't have to go into deep detail about it. I just want to know, what is a storm that you had to grow through? Put it in the chat. Yes, and open the front and back door so the lightning can go straight through. Come on, see? See, I was like, I don't know about this because we didn't do this in the city, but they made us do it. Not in my house, but living out here, me and my family would go in the hallway during bad storms or tornado warnings. See, yeah. I mean, not in my house where I grew up. Okay, got you. Got you. Let me know in the chat a storm that you had to go through, that you had to grow through. Put that in the chat. There's been plenty of storms in my life. There's been plenty of storms in my life. Being a mother sometimes is a storm, right? I have they're grown now, but my oldest really tested me. He really tested me. And so, being able to be a parent and growing through these things, because these are situations that you could look at how somebody else handle something, but you're never going to know how you're going to handle it until you're in that situation. People tell you that and you're like, I could read a book, or I could get this, and I seen this person do this and it worked very well for that person. Everything don't happen the same way for everybody, and parenting is one of those things. Parenting is not a one size fit all thing. It's a thing where you're learning and you're growing the whole entire way. You are a teacher and a student at the same time. At the same damn time, you a student and a teacher, right? And it's challenging. It's very challenging, and especially because you have to learn how to deal with your kids. You have to learn how you speak to them. You have to learn how you're going to reprimand them. You have to learn how you're going to discipline them, because what works for one kid doesn't work for the other kid, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to sit there and you have to learn and you have to grow through it. And it's something that you're always growing. You're always learning. You're always evolving. So I would say being a parent is a storm, and I'm not saying it's a bad storm, because I love storms, right? So being a parent is one of the things that present a challenge to me as a storm. And let me know what you have in the chat. Let me see. Linda said being disabled was a challenge. Yes, 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 and yes. And you have to figure out how you're going to move through things. You have to do things differently. So yes, I totally get it. Big Meech says she got laid off twice First time, had one small child, and me and my now husband were about to get married the next week, so we didn't have much money saved. Okay, went back to school and got a degree in, I think, nursing, right? Because I know you do something in the medical field, but the other part didn't come through yet. What are some storms that you had to grow through? The medical field. What are some storms that you had to grow through? And again, you don't have to give me deep details, just something that you had to figure out and you got through it, right? You got through this rain, you got through that storm. Teacher and student with the first child, especially, I'm telling you, right? I'm telling you, cancer is definitely a storm. It's definitely a storm. I have one of my best friends now has her cancer came back, and so her mindset, her state of mind is not where it usually is, and so she's kind of like, I wouldn't say she's devastated because she's always got like good energy, but she's kind of like deflated a little bit, but she's gonna get back. She's strong, she's willing, and I know she's gonna push through. But the thing though, that storm it was something that rocked her, right? She gonna get through this storm, but it was something that rocked her. And the same, Tiffany, same with you. Second time was because of COVID, had to move differently, but got rehired after a year. Got it. Got it. Trina says growing pains in marriage, becoming a mother, and my son's health problems. Yes. Yes. Because we're all, again, I think everything we do in life, we are the teacher and the student. Every single thing, right? We taking whatever little bit we know and we teaching that, and then we're learning, from our kids. We're learning how to treat them, how to, not saying no so much about how to speak to them, but we're learning how to deal with them, how to interact with them, how to engage with them, how to reach them, because sometimes we can't reach our kids. Sometimes we feel like we're, they're just not grasping what we're saying, or we just don't have a good relationship. Sometimes we're missing the mark, and we have to start looking at how do I reach that person, because it's not about that they can't be reached. It's just that we don't know how to reach them. And so we're always learning and we're always looking for answers in order for us to reach them. Motherhood, yes. Divorce and my mother's passing, yes, yes, yes. Definitely a storm. And it's something that you push through too, Deltra. It's something that you created your business because of, you needed something to help you cope. And so again, this is an example of pushing through even when the storm was devastating. Cancer, even when the storms are devastating. You know what I'm saying? And we still have to push through, especially to a child with special needs. When you have no one that has experienced it to help you, you have to figure it all out. I know. Exactly. We have to figure these things out, but we always can make it through the storm. We always can push through. It is so hard. And you guys need to get together and talk to each other. Tiffany and Trina. I don't know if you guys already do, but you guys need to speak to each other and at least be a support system for one another. Because maybe Trina found some things out that could help you, Tiffany, and maybe you did the same for her, and vice versa. And y'all could help each other out and could help, be a support group for each other and not feel so alone. Not feel so alone. So let me know if y'all feeling today's live, if y'all resonated with the storms, if you understand where I'm going with the storms, where that the sun is going to shine, right? The storms are going to pass you by. Good morning, Eliana. Good morning. Recovering from marrying two narcissists. Got it. Raising my 3 kids all by myself. I put all by myself, but I see what you said. I got it. I think that's what you said. Went through the same thing, Tiffany. My son was born with issues. Some he grew out of. It's freaking hard. Y'all all need to get together. Y'all should all get together and support one another and talk to one another. Create a group for each other. You know what I'm saying? I am big on groups. I am big on fellowship. I am big on being in like-minded communities. Why? Because sometimes we're dealing with these things that we don't have to deal with on our own, and we put so much on our plate because so many people are dependent on us and relying on us, and we just keep piling it on and piling it on, and we don't have anybody to help us. We don't have anybody to alleviate that stress. We don't have anybody to understand what we're going through, because they don't see what we're going through, because they don't find it as a problem, because it seems like you already found the solution. It seems like the solution was easy for you, but the solution wasn't easy for you. You had to figure it out. You had to go through some things. You had to go, figure out what you're going to do in order to how to help your children, right? And so I am so big on, finding people that are in alignment with your, not even so much in alignment, but people who are going through similar things, so that you guys can have somebody to lean on when those times get tough, because it can't be easy dealing with children that have special needs. Plus you got your husband, plus you got your home, plus you got your career, plus you got your business. It's so many things on there. You know what I'm saying? And you have to figure out something in order for you to be able to just like cope. And that's, you can't drink every day, because then you're going to turn into an alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? You can't smoke everywhere. You can't smoke every day. But, maybe you need to take a CBD gun. Hey, I can't say none of that. I got to take that part out. I'm going to delete it because they're going to demonetize me. But, but it's something that you got to do in order to cope. And finding people that deal with the same thing can help. You know what I'm saying? Because they can give you some coping things that help them, or they may have some resources that you could use. Maybe they have some ideas of things that you can try that you've never even thought of before, because you thought you've exhausted all of your possibilities. And so since you were in the situation, you couldn't see yourself out of the situation, and so you really couldn't get clarity on that. And so you all need to get together. Get together. Yes. Jasmine says, grief from my mother's passing. Yes, 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 definitely. I have a 2-year-old with Down syndrome. I know how you feel. Yeah, I end up finding people on Facebook to give advice that went through similar situations. Yes. Yes, because you guys can help each other. And another thing is, if you need, Deltra also dealt with her mom passing. Laura dealt with her mom passing. Jasmine dealt with her mom passing. If there's a situation where you feel like you just lost, or you just need somebody to talk to, these are the people who can understand, where you're coming from. And so these storms are only meant to pass, right? And so, yes, you're dealing with it, and it's leaving something in its wake, right? But how can you pick up these pieces and make a special meaning of these things that has happened to you? How can you take these pieces and put it together and make the puzzle complete, or just make yourself feel better? Right? What can I do? How can I honor my mom? How can I honor my friend? How can I honor them? What would make them smile? Right? Because a lot of the times we get stuck in the darkness, right? And nothing is wrong with being in the darkness for a minute, but being stuck in the darkness for too long, then we have to worry about you, right? But you have to be able to say, how could I honor their life? What would make them happy? Right? What would make them smile because I am doing this? What would make I know I will do this and they'll smile down on me? What would make them enjoy, something that I'm doing? How could I honor their spirit? How could I honor their life? What could I do? Right? A lot of the stuff that I do in my garden, I got the garden thing. My dad used to garden all the time. And this is actually the month that my dad passed away. It was the 15th. And this is the 15th. Yeah. The 15th of June. I found out that my dad had passed away. Not this June, it's been years. But there are things that I do because of my dad, and I'm honoring the things that he's taught me, right? Because everybody who comes in our life is not going to stay. Everybody is, everybody has their time. Everybody does, right? And so if you're ready for them to go or not, it doesn't matter. It's going to happen, right? And so I honor my dad by doing quite a few things that he's taught me. My dad taught me how to cook. My dad taught me how to sew, and I've been sewing for most of my life, right? I've been sewing since I was 11. He taught me how to do the sewing machine, thread the sewing machine when I was 11, and I started sewing with the sewing machine ever since then, right? My father loved gardening. And so he would garden even if we lived in an apartment or he lived in an apartment. He would be gardening no matter where he was. It's just something that he loved to do. My father is a Southern guy, so everything he did was farm based and all kinds of stuff. He knew how to make bread from scratch, and we would do all kinds of stuff. He got a wok, and he would work late, work overnight, and so he would buy all the stuff from the fresh market, and he would bring it home, and we would have like stir fried rice and stir fried vegetables with the fried rice and all of that. And so my dad taught me a lot of things, and from what he taught me, I take it with me. I take it with me, and I do these things, and I'm honoring I'm honoring him. I'm valuing the lessons that he taught me in my life, right? Because again, everybody is not here to stay. And I know you guys hear me talk about my dad, but I have a step parent, and well, not step parent, he's my dad, but and so he's great too, but my biological dad did pass. And so it's just the way that you have to look at it and say, what could I do to honor their lives? What can I do that they would be happy to see me doing right now in this lifetime, right? What can I do to honor them? And so we need to see that, and we also need to find, like, people that are feeling the same way, so we can be a crutch, so that we can help them get through it too. Maybe there's something that got you through, and that's going to help them too, right? And so we have to see these things like that. And so basically what I wanted to say for this whole thing is that we do need the rain. The rain is going to come. Thank you so much, Eliana. Hit the thumbs up button, y'all. The rain is going to come. We have to learn how to dance in the rain. We have to learn how to get through the storms, right? Grow through the storms. If that means we have to walk in our sneakers and regular clothes, and I hate getting wet in jeans, even if it means that we have to go through it that way, we still could push through. Even if it means that we could prepare ourselves, then we can prepare ourselves. We'll be better equipped for the storm, but the storm is still going to happen. We're still going to get rained on, but we're going to be able to push through and make it through, and we won't be as hurt or as devastated as we would if we were otherwise prepared, right? So that's all I wanted to say for today. If you guys have anything, not if you guys have anything, all of you guys who have been, we said it in the chat. I want you guys to make a little group chat and just communicate with each other. You don't have to speak to each other every day. You don't have to, check in all the time, but just check in maybe once or twice a week and say, hey sis, how you doing? Because a lot of the times we just need somebody to say, how are you doing? And you would be surprised if the people who you ask, how are you doing, or how you really doing, some people may break down because they got so much built in on the inside that they cannot, somebody asks them how they're doing and they just break down because nobody is asking them how they're doing. Nobody cares about how they're doing because they always look put together. They always look like they got it all together. They always look like no matter what, the storms of life has not taken them out, right? But nobody is checking in on them. So we need to make sure that we do that. We need to check in on each other, and we need to make sure that everybody is, I'm just checking in. I just want to make sure you okay, right? Are the storms of life taking you down? Are you prepared? Are you prepared for what's going on? Can I help you? What can I help you do? Can I help, take something off your plate? And that may not be, and I'm not talking about monetarily. I'm not talking about, let me go babysit or something like that. I'm just talking about people just need to speak. People just need to talk sometimes. Right? And sometimes we need to talk through our storms because maybe somebody's been through that storm that could help you come through it. Maybe somebody been through that storm that could show you a different route. Maybe somebody came through that storm that could show you, you know what? Here's a bridge right here. You could go under this bridge right here, shield you from the rain for a little bit. You might come out, still be raining, but I could shield you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So we need to start looking out for each other because mental health is a big thing in our community. In every community, mental health is a big thing. And especially women who are career women, moms, wives, just period in general. There's so many layers to us, and we need to make sure that we are okay because we always look like we have it together and nobody ever asks us if we're okay. Yes? Yes, yes, and yes. Let me know if y'all feeling what I'm saying in the chat. Let me know if you're resonating with me. If you enjoyed what today's live was about. It was about the rain and the storms, and that we can get through it, and also that the rain is nourishing us, the rain is cleansing us, the rain is clearing us, so that we can emerge from the dirt and be thriving, bearing fruit, amazing plants, amazing people, amazing vessels for life in general. Yes. And so if you guys enjoy it today, I want you guys to take this take this video, share it out with everybody you know, because we are on the road to 100K. We are at 20K now. We're at 20K and something, almost at 2100, right? 20,100. But I'm trying to get to 100K by the end of the year. So December 31st, I'm going to be at 100K. So y'all take this video out, share with somebody who could use it. Let them also know to come over here and subscribe, because we popping over here. And you guys can join me if you're new, if you've never seen me before. I'm here Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. for Coffee with Nikki, your daily cup of information and inspiration. And I'm always talking about my garden, because I think the garden and life has so much in common, and no matter what, I can always find something in the garden to make it, refer to life. And so that is what happened this weekend. We had thunderstorms, we had rain. I saw my vegetables thriving and coming out of there, and I was like, that's definitely the lesson for Monday, because even though I didn't see what was going on in the dirt, things were happening. And after that rain and after that huge storm, my vegetables, my green beans popped up, and they have leaves, and they're thriving. So yes, yes, and yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Michelle says, requesting prayer for myself, please. My ears not fully healed from my throat infection. Okay, got you. And I have been dizzy since Friday. I called the doctor, but still requesting prayers, please. Excuse me, sorry. Okay. Amen. Amen. All right. So let me see. Definitely needed this. Good, good, good. So true. Yes, I enjoyed it and needed to hear this today. Awesome. Hey, Miss Quill. Hey, Miss Quill. I enjoyed today. Hey y'all. That's how she said, hey y'all. All right, you guys. So thank you so very much. We'll be back on tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Coffee with Nikki, your daily cup of information and inspiration. Y'all make sure that y'all hit the thumbs up button. If you like what you heard so far, make sure that you subscribe. Also, like, comment, and subscribe. Did I say that? Like, comment, and subscribe. And turn on your notifications bell so that you can be notified when we are going live. Michi says, hope you get better soon, Michelle. That is for you. And that is it. Okay, Jasmine. Jasmine said definitely needed this. Come on, y'all. So the notes will definitely be in the chat. I'm going to take the video, put it up in the community. If you guys are not part of the community yet, go to Bubble Babes, BABEZ University, and click the community, join the community, log in, make a sign up, log in, whatever you need to do so that you can have access to all of the previous Coffee with Nikki's plus the notes. And also there's some other things there. And also you can join the Honor Society too, where you have access to all of our previous live classes. There's downloads, all kinds of information and free classes there for you to take advantage of. And that is it, y'all. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I hope that you guys have an amazing, productive Monday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know that your time is valuable and that you cannot get this back. So I hope that this hour was a great investment in your life, and something that I said resonated with you today, and so that it made it worth your while for investing your hour with us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Tiffany says, anybody wants to do the chat DM with her, hit her up. Tiffany is 4th and Park. That's the number 4, TH, and Park. That's PARC. And you'll be able to find her on Instagram. And so Tiffany is 4th and Park. Trina is LEWA. LEWA. All right, you guys. Thank you so much, Jasmine. Everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys and have a good day. Bye.